Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of B.S.ing Sports here on the B.S.ing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. If you're not viewing us on Twitter right now, I want to apologize. It looks like I'm having technical difficulties getting it to sync. So, sorry, Twitter.
I think I'm just happy that Bill got the intro right this time, unlike Saturday.
We don't have to talk about it. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah. So for those of you tuning in, we apologize. We were not on our regularly scheduled broadcast Saturday. Bill and I found out Friday night that there was a pretty cool opportunity that we had to take full advantage of, and take advantage of we did. Show them, Bill.
Yes. So, let's talk about it a little bit in a second. Jalen Carter, defensive tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles, he went to high school right around the corner from where Ryan and I live. And he was hosting a youth camp, where a player comes out and he talks to the kids and they do a whole bunch of camp activities for football. And he was nice enough to, sign some merch for us, B.S.ing Sports hat, Jalen Carter's signature on it. In addition to give us a very brief interview, of which I will be writing an article about. I'm getting a little bit delayed on it, and I know that, but I'm having brain farts. But I will get an article out, obviously. And we got another pleasant surprise from that day is we got to meet Drew Rosenhaus, Jalen Carter's agent. So there's that.
Yeah, and he was really awesome. He was asking us a bunch of questions about the podcast, sounded super supportive. So very good event, really done well. And Jalen actually gained a lot of my respect by saying this when we saw him in the beginning, right when the camp started. We asked him for a quick word, and he told us, hey, let me make my rounds with the kids first, and I'll come back to you. So he recognized that the camp was about the kids. It was not about us. And sure enough, true to his word, he came right back to us. Him, Andrew Rosenhaus, they were both hanging out around us for a little bit. We got a chance to interview Jalen, where I'll let Bill admit to how that interview started. It certainly ended better than it started, but it was a great experience all around.
Okay, so sorry, I'm trying to fix Twitter while we're doing the show here. It looks like we have to get a premium account on Twitter for us to be able to stream on there.
Yeah. It's not happening. Just let it go.
No, I didn't think. Cool, it's gone. So yes, I opened up my interview incorrectly. I'm looking forward to writing about that and call clearly not Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts. Good times. He took it like a champ, though. He just laughed. Drew Rosenhaus made fun of me, made a couple of Biden jokes, which hurt my feelings. Drew, that really hurt my feelings. But no, we moved on and we did the interview, and it was a great time. It really was a great time.
Yeah. But back to the unregularly scheduled broadcast of the Immaculate Grid. Bill is on a 9-game winning streak now. For those of you that have not been following, the square is a 3x3 square. That means there is 9 total squares inside of the big square. Question for all you viewers out there: how many squares do you see in this image? No, but so you got to fill the square with a player that correctly fits the criteria, whether it be team stats, whatever the case may be. So this square on the left side, top to bottom, has the Minnesota Twins, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Cincinnati Reds. Across the top, left to right, they have the Chicago Cubs, 300 career average and 200 career wins. Generally, when we do these on Saturdays, there's at least 4, if not 5 or 6 statistical grids where Bill, has the upper hand. However, with 4 teams, particularly in the Central, I'm liking my chances. I don't think this is going to be a pretty grid for either of us. We're about to show you how non-intelligent we actually are, especially because we both just got done working. It's not like Saturday, where we kind of been lounging around most of the day, have time to mentally prepare. So get right into it. I get to go first because I am on a 9-game losing streak.
I think your luck's going to change today, buddy.
Yeah, no, Gaylord Perry did not win 200 games with at least 200 games with the Twins. So I am already off to a fantastic start here. 0 for 1.
All right. Well, I said it when we were looking at the grid before. I have one name that I think fills this, and it's Gregory Blanco. But he might have played for the Tigers. How do you spell his name, Blanco? Gregor Blanco.
I think it's Gregor Blanco.
See, I didn't even say his name right. Oh, I was wrong. Look at that.
Yeah, so off to
That's
a fantastic.
That's who I just clicked. Yeah, incorrect.
Start here. Oh, for one. Let me get on the board here, right? I know this one works. Aramis Ramirez might not be particularly rare. Yeah, no, 21%, but I know it fills the square, so I'm gonna put it down.
Fill a square. Just fill a square. Roberto Clemente. Pirates 300, 62%.
So I had two names for that square. I'm glad you took him. The other one I have is Honus Wagner. For 16%. Much more rare. Much more better.
Almost definitely. This Chapman.
There you go. Good pull.
Yep. Oh, look. Would have fit the Pirates square, too.
Yeah.
29% on that.
Let's see. 300 career average for the Twins. Paul Molitor, 6%. All right, we got some rarity here, ladies and gentlemen. Got a square that's under 10%.
Moises Alou, Cubs Pirates.
Good pull.
2%.
Avedanas. 200 career wins for the Pirates. Gonna go Doug Drabeck, who didn't do it. Of course he didn't, because I guessed him.
I don't know that Joe Mauer hit 300 for his career, but I'm taking it.
Oh, yeah, he for sure
did at 23%. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
These names are not good. These names are not good.
All right, time to pick it up here. 300 career average for the Cincinnati Reds. Adam Dunn. I'm just kidding.
Dude, if that was right, I would have been like, what?
That's like anti-300 average. Cincinnati Reds, 200 wins. I have a feeling he pitched for the Reds. No, he didn't. Steve Carlton did not. My brain is shot.
Yeah. Again, not very large on the rarity here, but Pete Rose, career 300 hitter, 81% for the Reds.
Holy Christ!
My percentages, other than the Moises Alou one, are complete garbage. Yeah, Timmy, I'm glad you understand that we've been awake for a while, and this is not easy to do when your brain is fried.
All right, let me bear down here. Let me think about this for a second.
You already took Gaylord Perry, right? And it was wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, so you can't have him.
I mean, the only square that I would have tried to use him for is used him in, so.
300 average career. I know Bench didn't do it. I don't think Larkin did it either.
I don't think Larkin did it.
Probably some dude from like the Red Legs years, you know?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's not like Rose played super recent. I'm talking the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Struggling on this one here, fans. Struggling.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of dudes like ended their careers with these teams, because like I don't have any like superstar longevity names that come to mind for 200 career wins.
What did Roland hit for his career? Like 287, right?
There we go on the board. Walter Johnson, Minnesota Twins, 200 career wins. Forgot the Senators were Twins.
Oh
no,
I thought maybe Big Sexy.
Thought of his name too, and I knew he didn't play for any of these teams. So, Pittsburgh Pirates, 200 career wins.
Ken Brandt says he tried this one earlier, couldn't get more than 5.
I'm smoking. I'm high there. There ain't no way. Pirates, 200 career wins. Let's see. Who would have ended their career with Pirates? Yeah, reading the comment now. Tried earlier, couldn't get more than 5. That'd be a good number to beat if I can get 6.
I've got 5, yeah. So I need one more.
Oh, you have a name already? Oh no, you have 5 filled in already.
No,
okay.
I already have 5. Yeah.
Cincinnati, Chicago. Pittsburgh Pirates. I've got a name on the tip of my tongue. I just can't get it out there.
I got 2 names, but I don't know if either of them got the 200.
Well, I mean, I give you full permission to go ahead and rip ahead of me. You know, if you think you've got something.
All right, 200 career wins. I don't know that he's got 200 yet. Garrett. Garrett, yeah. He does not. And then the other name I have is AJ Burnett.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of earlier.
Couldn't do it. I ended up with 5.
All right. Pressure's on me.
I want to see these damn names. And there's only 14 Pittsburgh Pirates that have done it.
Pressure is on. Let's see, the Cincinnati Reds. Let me know if I should know either of, like, if I know names that fill out either of those squares.
Who is it? It's Twins, Reds, Pirates? Okay.
Well, I have the Twins already.
Okay. Definitely not. You said you already have the Twins?
Yeah.
Okay, well, since we could have, and it doesn't fit the other 2 squares, I'll tell you, Lefty did it.
Which Lefty? Grove? Carlton?
Carlton.
Yeah, I tried him for Cincinnati. I thought he filled out one of these squares. I couldn't remember which one.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely there's definitely a name for Cincinnati. Played primarily in New York.
Okay, well, it's not Matt Harvey.
It is not. It is not.
It's not, because I had that thought earlier. I was like, Matt Harvey? I was like, no, he didn't play for the Cubs. He played for the Mets.
The guy we just said a second ago used to have some hella great battles with him, Philly, New York.
No, I said Lefty Grove, and I was like, wait, I think he played for Pittsburgh.
yeah, really of this list, there's just one guy that fills out that Cincinnati square that we both should have gotten. Oh no, there's another one. More my time than your time.
About to say, probably some dude that just like ended his career with the Reds or something. Like one season or something.
All right, so the second guy, I primarily remember him with Toronto, kind of a huskier guy.
David Wells?
It is David Wells.
Yeah, I thought so. I was sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, David Wells.
You beat me.
The good news is I would have beaten you even if I didn't get that answer. So
yeah. My percentages were terrible.
Yeah,
the other name was Tom Seaver.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And he was the most common by a lot.
Ryan increases his record to 3-9. I dropped to 9-3. Good times. Good times.
Good game.
All right. So we get rid of the grid. We bring up pickle. Let me get this going. Hopefully with that going, my laptop.
Okay, guys, if you're still with us after that very, very painful experience, thank you.
That was embarrassing.
That's pretty embarrassing. Dude, here we go. Let's just rip a random name. Let's see if we can get on the first guest. Pete Alonso, in honor of the Home Run Derby.
Okay, yeah, because he's in it.
2-time Home Run Derby champion Pete Alonso. Let's go. Oh, I'm such a fucking genius. Oh,
you know what's funny is I was going to say Bryce Harper to start it, and that would have probably pointed us in the direction we needed anyway. But yeah, that's perfect. Well played.
And it was live, so nobody can tell me I didn't do it.
So, sorry that segment wasn't longer.
That makes up for our really embarrassing immaculate grid attempts.
It really does. It really does. Good on you, man. Good on you for getting that. Okay, I have the rosters and the Home Run Derby. We'll do the Home Run Derby first, you said, right?
Yep. You got it?
I got it. Yeah, I can pull it up.
Okay.
Share screen.
Ryan Swift from half court. Oh, as the buzzer expires.
It's not that special. I just have the MLB.com pulled up, and it's just sitting here like this.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do, too.
All right, let's see if I can actually break it down.
I was about to say, why does yours look like that?
Into amazing. All right, so if we're looking at it, they're going by bat speed here. The contestants this year are Gunnar Henderson, Pete Alonso, Bobby Witt Jr., Marcelo Ozuna, Teoscar Hernandez, Alec Bohm, Adolis Garcia, and Jose Ramirez.
Man, that bat speed gap between Jose Ramirez and Gunnar Henderson, like if you don't think 4 miles an hour makes a difference, like one of those guys is ranked top 10, the other's not even ranked in the top 100.
Yeah, and it's 4.4 miles per hour difference. Like that's crazy.
It's elite.
I'm trying to see if I can see the bracket. Trying to see if I can, like, they're not showing me the bracket. They're just talking about them. Okay, well, that's stupid. Get out of here. Home Run Derby bracket. So I can find that.
Some interesting names in the Home Run Derby, though, because like you would not expect a guy like Alec Bohm to be in the Home Run Derby, but yet he is. Like a couple of first timers too. I don't think it's Teoscar Hernandez has ever been in one. Obviously, Bobby Witt Jr.'s never been in one. Interesting little group they got here.
Yeah, and no, I guess we don't know who's going to be facing off against who. All right, well, I got something here. Might get in trouble for it. Somebody over here at Sports Grid, please don't sue us. Appreciate you for letting us use your stuff here for this episode. So I have the odds of the winner of the Home Run Derby. Obviously, Pete Alonso going for another Home Run Derby victory is the best odds at plus 300. Then Marcell Ozuna, who's having a phenomenal year there in Atlanta, coming in second for at plus 380. Gunnar, fourth at plus 400. Bobby Witt, plus 470. Adolis, plus 550. Teoscar Hernandez, plus 1100. Jose Ramirez of the Guardians at plus 1500. And Alec Bohm coming in dead last at plus 2000. He does only have 10 home runs on the season. So
yeah, that sounds about right. I'd be extremely shocked if Alec Bohm won the home run derby. But looking at the field, there's this odd mix of guys like you, again, would never expect to be in a home run derby. So I don't know how the new rules are going to necessarily affect the matchups. However, I'm picking Adolis Garcia to win the whole thing.
Okay.
That guy is
plus
that guy's jacked. He's a monster. And I've seen Texas Rangers players pull off miracles in the home run derby. I'm looking at you, Josh Hamilton.
Josh Hamilton. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to say Marcell Ozuna probably wins it. His swing this year has just been super crisp, super nice, beautiful. And he's been consistent, which is new for Marcell Ozuna. You know, like usually he's extremely hot and cold, but this year he's been able to keep it together and be extremely consistent. So I've got Marcell Ozuna at plus 380.
Yeah, I would pick Adolis Garcia, and then Teoscar Hernandez is probably a dark horse for me. You always like see these dudes who don't necessarily like are known for home run, power, but they come in and they just like alter their swing to go for Hail Marys. And again, we don't know how the new rules are necessarily going to play into the way that this is set up. So, but I would put money on Adolis Garcia. I think 550 is good odds.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right.
Yeah.
Who do you think has the longest home run tonight?
Oh, that's a good question. Give me Gunnar.
Give me Adolis.
Yeah, I mean, Gunnar.
Yeah,
I mean, Adolis Garcia is just huge. He's a massive human being.
Yeah. Do you think we get any home runs over 500 feet?
It's possible. I mean, I don't think so.
I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to be more specific on it. I'm going to say we get 4 home runs of plus 500 feet.
That's a lot.
I know.
Considering there's only been what, 25 in home run derby history or something like that?
That's correct. I think this is the year they all go out.
Yeah, I think there's one. I think it's a scraper for 500, like 502, 503. But I think there's a 500-foot home run. That's a good question. So you think Adolis goes over 500 feet for sure?
For sure, Adolis.
Okay.
Very confident Gunnar. Semi-confident Pete Alonso, and then a surprise.
It would, I think, out of
maybe Jose Ramirez, might rip into one.
Alec Bohm leans into one, gets all his weight into it.
He's going to need his weight plus Bryce Harper's weight. That kid is skinny. But yeah. No, I do. I really think we're going to get 4 plus 500 balls tonight, which it's really exciting to watch that stuff. So
As a Phillies fan, though, I am slightly concerned. We have seen in the past where dudes who are raking in the first half play in the home run derby, then they can't hit in the second half. So I don't know if
they just swing and ruin themselves.
Yeah, so hopefully that curse and the swing ruin, doesn't affect Alec Bohm. But yeah, it makes me a little nervous. Can't not think about it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's pull up the. Let's see. I've got the American League roster ready. Well, I have both rosters ready to go, but I got the American League one pulled up.
Okay, I'll pull up National League first.
Okay. All right, so here are your starters for the American League baseball team. We have the starter, Adley Rutschman from Baltimore playing catcher, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from Toronto playing first, Marcus Semien from Texas playing second, Jose Ramirez from Cleveland playing third. Shortstop is Gunnar Henderson from Baltimore. Your outfield from left to right is Aaron Judge. Stephen Kwan's playing center. Aaron Judge and Juan Soto both from the Yankees. Stephen Kwan from Cleveland playing center. Yordan Alvarez will be your DH from Houston.
I think Aaron Judge is playing center.
Either way. Your reserves for the American League All-Stars are catcher Salvador Perez in what I think is his 8th or 9th All-Star game. So congratulations to Salvador Perez. Josh Naylor from Cleveland, Isaac Paredes from Tampa Bay, Willie Castro from Minnesota, Corey Seager from Texas, Jordan Westberg from Baltimore, Bobby Witt Jr. From Kansas City, Jarren Duran, Boston, Riley Green, Detroit, Anthony Santander from Baltimore, and David Fry. That's a lot Baltimore players, and David Fry for Cleveland. Starting pitchers: Tyler Anderson, Corbin Burns, Garrett Crochet, Tanner Houck, Seth Lugo, Cole Reagans, and Tarek Skubal. Your relief pitchers: Emmanuel Clace, Clay Holmes, Andres Munoz, Mason Miller, Kirby Yates, and people who were unavailable via injury or just opted out of the All-Star game are Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, Rafael Devers, Logan Gilbert, and Kyle Tucker. Ryan.
Yeah, so the National League, we've got William Contreras at catcher, Bryce Harper at first, Ketel Marte at second, Alec Boehm at third, Trey Turner at short, Christian Yelich, Jurickson Profar, and Teoscar Hernandez across the outfield, and Shohei Ohtani DHing. So, yes, it's the Philadelphia Dodgers, the Los Angeles Phillies, and Ketel Marte pretty much. Reserve catcher Will Smith, C.J. Abrams, Pete Alonso, Luis Arias, Mookie Betts, Ellie De La Cruz, Freddie Freeman, and Ryan McMahon all across the infield for reserves. And they have Teoscar Hernandez listed twice. So I guess must have just been that good. No, Jackson Merrill, who's had a fantastic season as a 21-year-old. Heliot Ramos and Brian Reynolds are the reserve outfielders, and the reserve DH is Marcel Ozuna. Starting pitchers for the National League, we've got Max Fried, Hunter Green, Shota Imanaga, Ronaldo Lopez, very well deserved, Christopher Sanchez, Paul Skeens, Logan Webb. Paul Skeens was announced as the starter after Chris Sale said he would not be pitching in the All-Star game. Relief pitchers, Jeff Hoffman, Tanner Scott, Matt Strahm, Robert Suarez, and Kyle Finnegan. Unavailable for the All-Star game, Fernando Tatis, Tyler Glasnow, Ryan Helsley, Chris Sale, Ranger Suarez, and Zach Wheeler. So even the unavailable squad is the Philadelphia Dodgers and Los Angeles Phillies.
So we have six people that we might get to see for Philadelphia play tonight or tomorrow night. Unfortunately, we won't get to see them in their own jerseys because we discussed this on our last show. They have these stupid All-Star game jerseys.
There's a couple of gripes that I have with the All-Star game, and one of them is the fact that players don't get to represent their own team's colors anymore. I think we're massively in agreement as a community. While yes, it's nice to sell those All-Star jerseys, and that's really all it is a money grab by the MLB. We just want to see people wear their own jerseys, like they can represent their own teams. And then my second gripe is that one player from each team has to make the All-Star game. I think that's a load of shit.
I don't disagree.
If your dude sucks, your dude sucks. You shouldn't get a free pass into the All-Star game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if your team is like the Rockies right now, you're 40 games below 500. There's not really a bright spot on your team for the most part.
I can't name one player on the Rockies. I can't.
Chris Bryant? Only because he's Chris Bryant?
Yeah, only because of what he did when he was with the Cubs in the late 2010s, not because of what he's doing with the Rockies in 2024. Huh.
Yeah, but exactly. I agree. That's kind of stupid to have every team needs to have one representative. Like, no, they don't. If they're not performing, they don't need to be at the All-Star game.
Yeah, and the fact that my real last gripe is that the fans get to decide who goes in the All-Star game. And it's the same thing across sports. Like All-Star game appearances matter. Like when players go on the Hall of Fame ballot or whatever, like All-Star game appearances do matter. So the fact that fans essentially have at least a small portion in determining your potential Hall of Fame, entrance or missing out, like that, to me, that's a little wild.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Now the whole Hall of Fame voting in the major leagues is messed up anyway, because it shouldn't have taken Mariano Rivera to be the first person unanimously elected in. There were tons of other players that should have no doubt been elected in. But
I agree.
That is beside the point. Yeah, so I have a couple gripes with the All-Star game. However, it's still the All-Star game. You still get to see some of the best players. And it really is for the fans. So in the same time, I understand wanting to get the players on the field that the fans actually want to see. That being said, Bill, who are you most excited to see? One player.
Christopher Sanchez. Here's why. He's a kid who, like, out of nowhere, I hope they let him pitch. Out of nowhere, like last year, he had, what was it, a sub-4 ERA, but he was an opener for us, except he was like doing a 3-inning opening. And then this year he comes on, he's got a 2.71 ERA, something along that line. He's winning ball games for the Philadelphia Phillies. I hope he was obviously the last person added on the National League roster. I hope he gets an opportunity to pitch here in the All-Star game.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool for him, especially, you know, kind of the career arc he's had. He was never really expected to be what he's unfolded into this year. Him and Ranger Suarez, you know, have taken great paths and great strides to become very good pitchers in the majors. And given the fact that Chris Sanchez does have that third best ERA and the second best ERA in the National League, and if you think about early in the season how badly he struggled on the road, I think his first 6 starts, he had 3 at home, 3 on the road, and his road ERA was close to 6. He's really settled down and made it for himself in the majors. We talked about that on a previous episode. So, yeah, good for Christopher Sanchez. But if I had to pick one player, it's Gunnar. And I think Gunnar Henderson has become one of the most exciting players to watch in the major leagues. He's not a guy that, you know, I do see him more often than other AL teams just because I feel like the Baltimore Orioles are very exciting to watch. However, it's not a guy that as a Phillies fan we get to see a ton of. So it's a good experience to see him even, you know, in just a couple at-bats or whatever. And then Salvador Perez gets an honorable mention for me too because I feel like that guy's been around baseball for like 20 years.
He really has.
and he's only like 33 years old. It's incredible.
Came out young.
Yeah.
Those are good. Those are young.
He's made it through a rebuild, a World Series championship, another rebuild, and now the Kansas City Royals are playoff contention. That's how long he's been around. So, yeah, he's you know, it's just awesome to see, you know, nice mix of youth. Jackson Merrill, 21 years old in the All-Star game. And then, you know, you've got your vets, your Salvador Perez's. Although it is nice not to see Arenado, Goldschmidt, you know, that whole crowd that's slowly kind of reaching that age group
and going away. Yeah.
Nice to see fresh blood. So who do you think's going to win, Bill?
I think the National League has a better chance to win this year. Now, obviously, you get one pitcher out there that just is off his game, and I mean, again, they're the best players in each league. They're going to get on. They're going to tag him. So yeah, I think it'll be the National League. But no, I mean, both rosters are really good. Both rosters are really sound. Yeah.
Yeah, so all time, the American League leads the series, 47 wins, 44 losses, 2 ties. So it's very close. I know the AL had like a run of dominance in the 2010s. I think they won like 8 or 9 straight, but I do think the NL takes it home. I think Paul Skeens being on the hill for at least an inning or two is going to ignite the crowd. It's going to ignite the National League. So, and I also thought that was really cool how he found out he's going to be the starter.
Yeah.
Calling into the Dan Patrick show, I think it was.
Yeah. It was the Dan Patrick show.
Yeah. Torey Lovella called in and was like, "Hey, by the way,
you're starting."
Yeah, sail back out on us, so you're starting.
No, that is cool. I think obviously Sale doesn't back out. Sale does it. Wheeler doesn't go down with a back injury. Wheeler does it. I think the dominoes fell for Skeens to get there is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, he was not the first choice to start. I don't think he, like, to your point, he may have been the second just because he is that flashy, like, sexy name, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, these guys are going to pitch 1, maybe 2 innings.
Maybe 2. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is fair, especially if you're not going to go into extras, which there's no need to.
Correct.
My last question about the All-Star game is, do you miss when it used to decide who had home field advantage in the World Series?
Not really. We talked about this last week. Sometimes you have a coach who's just totally dejected and doesn't really care about managing it, or you have a coach who's actually got a vested interest in it and like really tries to overmanage it and probably makes mistakes. I don't really miss it. Because to be honest with you, by the time the World Series comes, I would have forgotten who won the All-Star break and gets home field advantage anyway. So I don't miss him.
Yeah, I agree. I'm glad that's gone, but for a little bit different of a reason. First off, this game's for the fans, right? As much as I kind of bitched about it, the fans having to say earlier, it is for them and for the MLB to make money. But secondly, as the World Series, teams unfold in October, you look back at the All-Star game, and it could be a team in the World Series that only had like 2 All-Star representatives. And it's like, well, a game where we only had 2 of our players participating in was the way that we decided who got home field advantage. Like, I didn't even really get a say in getting home field advantage for most part. So, yeah, I don't really miss it either.
Yeah. Both good takes.
Yeah. So, Ken Brandt says, yes, he misses it, and he misses when it meant something, which was an interesting twist in baseball. But nonetheless,
yeah, but he's one of them old guys that fears change, so it don't matter. Change is fine, old man. Shut up.
That being said, Bill, do you have anything to
add? No, I'm good. That's it.
Go Phillies, go Birds. Call to the
Phillies, go Birds. Yeah, thanks for joining us here for another episode of B.S.ing Sports on the B.S.ing Network, where we do a little BS and we talk a whole lot of sports. Have a good night.